Yeah, so I borrowed one of those grabber things you put on your skid loader, you know, like grab the brush and move it. And it was pretty awesome, but it gave me some bad ideas and made me think, oh, if I can use this, I could just make one, you know, who needs to borrow one? And I guess that wasn't so bad, but then I had the great idea that I was going to make two, and the one would cover the cost of the other one. So anyways, I'm hoping this is like the beginning of a series of videos where I make a grapple bucket. So for those of you that need to see stuff on paper, here you go. This is kind of what I'm thinking. I looked at a bunch of different grapple buckets, and you know, I was thinking about buying one because I used one and it was awesome, but I don't really have the money. And for the most part, every skid loader attachment too that I've seen is all just like laser cut with some mouth breather that must have welded it together. And some of them are really good and some of them aren't so good, but for the most part, that's how it's all made. I'm going to try to do things a little bit different here. I'm going to try to make this with as much scrap steel as I can get. And the scrap steel that I can get a bunch of is a 2-inch flat steel. I think it's 2x1/2. And 2x4 tubing, and I'm going to use the 2x4 tubing to make the back plane, and then I'm going to do the regular 2-inch flat steel and make the tines about 38 inches long. Now, if you want to make anything, the fastest way to make it is to just copy someone. I mean, that's anything. Just ask China. Anyways, that's a different story. But what I did notice is other buckets, the bucket that I have anyways, is about 20-ish degrees here. So that's what I'm going to shoot for, and that's where this 38 inches came from, and this 23. I'll warn anybody that's going to make their own linkage up here. You might want to use a computer or something to lay that out because, or I don't know, buy the cylinders and then kind of maybe practice or whatever, because it's not as simple as it looks. Anyways, to be continued. So I spent all kinds of time like drawing up different ideas for the tooth pattern, and then comes time to actually cutting it out and I just kind of made up my own with the chalk pen right now. Okay, I made this tine as like the prototype here. I just wanted to see if my cheap plasma cutter could make it through, and it did. I found this guy in the Garbage Ruski. It's just a linear bearing, and it gave me this great idea to, you know, cutting, I don't know, I probably got to do 20 or so of these. It's going to be ridiculously boring, and I want to get them all kind of similar. So my idea was somehow bolt this onto here, and then I'll just lay these down and I can cut them. I got one hole in there. I gotta somehow, I don't really have like fandancy way of, yeah, that'll work. I don't even know what size drill bit this is. It's just the one that was in there. Now we got her mounted up for the big hole. I don't have the right size full saw, but I got this big hogger. Unibit works surprisingly really well. I've never used it in wood before.
Here's number 21.
There you go. See how that works. Alright, I got it set up, but I don't really like the gap, but I'm just going to try it out and see how it will work. Alright, added more parts. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
A dear friend of yours, a guy that you've been with every step of the way, but with that left.
All right, not quite good enough. All right, nothing real fancy here. Just getting the angle finder and my bandsaw so I can cut all of the tines. Never thought about this. This job isn't very cool. I gotta come in here and bust the slag off all these. Some of them are comes off pretty easy, but other ones it's pretty hard. God, I hate grinding. Okay, I think I'm pretty close to being done here. I only took 2 grinding wheels, and I still hate grinding. On the Grindo suck meter, actually it wasn't too bad. I'd say about a 4. Anyways, I made this depth gauge. This is the thickness of the piece of steel that's going to go on here, and I just clamped it in. And as you can see, it looks like this is all good here. Oh, looks like I gotta go a little more there on the ends. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, here I got it kind of readjusted and recombobulated. I'm gonna try to cut the straight portion. This is the first one I cut by hand with the plasma cutter, but you can see here I'm just trying to finish off the bottom of the tine. Here is how they are coming out. T-I-T tight, like perfect. Okay, there they are. No wonder why they have CNC machines. That's not very enjoyable. I can think of a lot more cool things to do than cut out grapple bucket tines, but they're all there. I just gotta chip the slag off and grind them down a little bit. And then while I got this set up, I'm gonna cut some pieces off. That'll be just caps for the tubes. I didn't have enough throw with the linear bearing. Can you tell where I stopped and I started freehanding it? It's definitely a quality difference. So I was about to take your mom's box here and stuff it in my stove, and then I stopped to realize something wasn't quite right. I got kind of lucky. What in the hell happened to my... Where's my chimney pipe?